Welcome back to part two of our entertainment roundup. Without further ado, let's talk about the remaining stories that I did not cover because I didn't want to make the entertainment roundup video from the first part an hour long. So, without further ado, let's talk about the last three stories. And I'm going to talk about Madonna uh, and her recent report. I just recently found out about this. Um, People did ask me to talk about it. I said, okay, fine. But the article said Madonna apologized for racial slur in the Instagram caption. I don't know what that means, but basically, I'm gonna read right here. It says, "There's no way to defend the use of the word of the singer right after using the N word." This is what it says. Madonna issued a statement of an apology for using the N-word in a caption of an Instagram photo of her son on Friday, January the 17th. The photo was shot of a 13-year-old boxing with Capone reading, "No one mess uh, with dirty soap. Mama said knock you out." And that was pretty much basically that was where the N word is used. The superstar has 1.1 million followers on Instagram. I'm sorry if I offended anyone with my use of the N word in the Instagram. Reads Madonna. Statement issued on Saturday. It was not meant as a racial slur. I am not a racist. There's no way to defend the use of the word. It was all about. It was not my. It was all about intentions. It was. I did it so bad. Well, it was not about my intention. It was not her intention. Please, it was the use of a term of endearment towards my son, who is white. I appreciate that it is a provocative. I appreciate that it is a provocative word, and I apologize if I've given people the wrong impression. Forgive me. Okay, but now they repost the same photo on Instagram with a new word. Okay, let me start this again. Get off my get off the D word, haters. Also posted a full apologies as the photo on a social platform. On Friday, reports surfaced that Madonna will be performing on the incoming Grammy Awards. Beyonce is also rumored to be making a surprise appearance. Okay, that's what they're basically saying about the Grammys, which will be on the 26th. Not important. Okay, first things first. I don't know what this Instagram is. If you guys know what it is, let me know. This is the first time I ever heard about this. I don't really follow people on Twitter like that. I don't really follow people on Google Plus that much, frankly, because Google Plus is terrible, and not many people like it who I follow anyway. But in any case, I mean, this situation, this is the first time I heard about it, and I am not going to go nuts about it either. She did apologize. I think she was trying to, say something that reflects on what her son was doing. Um, was it the wrong choice of word? Pretty much, but you know what? After reading what she has said here, which by the way, this is not exactly the well written article, if I may say, because it's just to me, it's just guys. This is one of the reasons why we gotta be careful with the N word, especially when it comes to us. Really, I'm just saying that this is one thing, is especially when she is saying this was in terms of endearment. There's nothing really endearment about that word at all. I don't care who uses it. It's not endearing at all. I can't really stand that word. I already made my feelings towards that word, but I'm not going to go too deep into this. Um, I do believe she was sorry. I think she was trying to use it pretty much to reflect what was going on in that picture. And to her, she just basically like, oh man, I totally messed up. So yeah, I forget Madonna on that. Especially from her history, this is something that word doesn't reflect how she really feels. At least, unlike some other people that I know in the show business, that is not her. But again, this is pretty much a lesson we learned. Be careful how you parade the N word around, because of stuff like this. Because, like I said, we're just as guilty as using the N word for a term in Dillsman as anybody else. And like I said, we're so offensive when everybody else uses it. Maybe we should be using it ourselves. But then again, that's my opinion. You guys may disagree with it. I'd like to hear your opinion on it. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'll leave an article. You guys can look at it, and you guys can comment on it yourselves. But like I said, that word should never have been borrowed, and it's kind of hard for me to sit there with a straight face and say that we ourselves don't do the same thing. Two more stories to go. I am going to leave that story last, but I got to talk about Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers here has made a move that got a lot of people pretty much up in arms, pretty much thinking about what Warner Brothers is doing. Um, I'm going to say the pros and cons about this, but pretty much it's no secret. Everybody was talking about it. Warner Brothers pushed back the Batman Superman movie. Instead of being out 2015, it's coming out 2016. The article said on June 7th, which was released on June 17th, that the date was fans. June 17th, 2015 was the date fans of the Batman movie deserved, but not. Oh, come on, guys. I'm not the one that Warner Brothers need right now. Really? We're going to quote The Dark Knight now? The studio had pushed back the release of its untitled Batman Superman movie from May 6, 2016 to May 6, 2016. The delay is nearly 10 months to allow filmmakers time to realize uh, the full the full version given the complex virtual nature of the story. The studio told The Wrap on Friday the movie is an interesting piece of the Marvel Disney Warner Brothers DC rivalry for a couple of reasons. It takes Warner Brothers team up to Ben. It takes Warner's team up of Ben Affleck Batman and Harvey Keitel Superman out of the same summer as Avenger Age of Ultron and puts it squarely in the early May zone that Marvel has owned since the gangbuster launch of Iron Man in 2008. The fact Marvel has yet to reveal a film set on that date. Is it Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Iron Man 4, setting up a whole blank first showdown of a mega franchise rivalry that Marvel has been dominating at least in teams in terms of speed and ease development for nearly 6 years now. The article goes on and say that Warner Brothers says it date change follows the shift of the start of production to second quarters of this year. The film was intentionally beginning shooting in spring and had already picked up some B-rolls as as at a junior collection football game late last year. The studio offers no further details on the reason for this move, which all goes more puzzling coming from the heels of announcing that Fast and Furious star Gal Gadot would be joining the cast to play Wonder Woman, another piece of the puzzle in the Justice League film that Warner DC is itching to get off the ground ASAP. There's other stuff in this article. I'm gonna let you guys read it for yourself. But here's the thing. I'm just gonna quote like it is. What was it have a script? I mean, that's the best way I can say it. The Warner Brothers did not really have a script for this movie, and if they did have a script, it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. And that pretty much sums it. Whether you believe that Ben Affleck and the cast saw the script and said, "Nah, this is not good enough. You got to do better than that," or whether they just basically did a rush job and announced the Superman Batman team up without actually having a full plan in focus. And this has been my major gripe, along with a lot of people who are fans of DC comics had with it, that they really don't have a set plan. They really don't. And this is pretty much proof of that. And in case you're wondering why Marvel have been dominating in the summer of blockbusters is because they do have a set plan. They have plans years in advance, and like most good plans, some of them work out fine, some don't work out fine, but they do have a plan um, for the future. The Avengers wasn't just out of the whim; they actually planned for that. They had scripts in advance for that. The changes happened, but it was happening very, very little. It didn't disrupt their scale actual goal, and they met with that goal. Again, I don't see Warner Brothers doing that. I really don't see them really having a straight plan other than what they're doing right now. And that you've got to be worried. If you're a DC fan, you have to be worried about that. There's no denying that this is a very major concern. However, I am fair at the same time. I'm not saying this is a bad move either. If it means taking your time, building a good script, making sure that script fits with the cast members, with the storyline they're trying to develop, and the direction they want to take. If this is the film that's gonna set the tone for other films in the future, and I'm hoping that DC and Warner Brothers do that, set the tone for other films in the future. Because I do want to see Wonder Woman finally hit the big screen, as well as other characters hit the big screen. That would be a fundamental stepping stone for the Justice League film. Then so be it. Do it right. Do it fine. So I say that. I'm throwing 2 points here. If this is what they're going to do and actually make sure that blueprint goes smoothly and will hit all the right buttons, then by all means, let's go. Personally, I'll say straight up, I'd rather see another Batman film to connect with the Superman film before doing a Superman Batman film, but they're not doing that. But if they're going to do it like this, make sure you do it right so that way it gets people talking about, yeah, I want to see the next superhero film. I want to see where this leads up to. But make sure you have a connection done. And that's if they could do that, then you know what? Fine, I'll wait. I'll see what they're gonna do. But one thing is definitely is certain. I think this is what every fan is definitely is concerned about. Please, please have a plan already put together. Make sure that plan is carried out because this is one thing that has been DC Comics absolute weakness when it comes to that. They don't have a plan that they have a strategy leading up for films, for future films down the road. Do anybody know if the Aquaman film's going to be made? Are they going to reboot the Green Lantern series? Do we see Martian coming into this coming into fix? These are the things I'm kind of curious to know because one of the things that's been the Achilles heel for DC, and even one of them for that matter, is they seem to only rely on two major heroes. And no one's buying that there's only two major heroes in the entire DC universe and nobody else. And I think that's the big thing I'm more concerned about than anything else that I've been hearing. This is not a bad thing. Believe when I say it, the delay is not a bad thing. Does it ring all the bells in terms of their plan? Yes. But if they're going to actually take it seriously and use this time to do it, keep in mind they got 2 full years in my books. They got 2014 and they got 2015. So in my opinion, there should be no excuse to have that film polished. And keep that in mind. I hope they took the feedback seriously from the Superman fans after the Man of Steel. I actually think it was a good film. I have no problem with the Man of Steel film, but I actually understand and acknowledge why a lot of people didn't like it for many reasons. So I do hope they take that into account when they make that film. You don't need to make another Christopher Nolan Batman film. You don't even have to make it the way that they made the Man of Steel. But you need to have a film. You need to have to give the reason for the DC fans to be pumped up to watch not only another Superman Batman film, but just basically be invested in other projects you have. Because that's the one thing you're failing right now. Alright? Keep in mind, people are not thrilled with what happened to Wonder Woman. They're not at all. And you know what I'm talking about, that Power Television movie that you guys had. So you're going to have to really, really sell the public that you guys are dead serious about pushing for a Justice League film, which is now pretty much doesn't have a future at this time. doesn't have a future this time. So let's see what you guys do. Let's see what you guys are pushing for. But I'm curious. I'll leave a link below. You guys can read yourself. And going to the last story of the day. Um, and it's involved with Johnny Depp, which is amazing. I honestly, this is all my years following this actor's career. It didn't struck me that the guy was never married. I mean, it really did. This guy's played so many roles that and played it well uh, in terms of his gothic roles. Um, I totally forgot that he was still a bachelor. Um, and keep in mind, I follow this guy from Nightmare on Elm Street, even though I didn't even know that he actually played Nightmare on Elm Street 2 years later. 21 Jump Street, throughout the roles that he had done with Edward Scissorhands and playing the Mad Hatter, Jack Sparrow, to his more serious roles, which I think Blow was one of his better films. Playing Johnny Mnemonic, I believe that's one of the films he had done. Um, he really has become one of those actors that I can't help but watch because he's so good at the roles he is. So that when he gets into a role, you almost don't recognize him. I think one of his films that I always hold dear to me, and it really got me to do research on that director was Ed Wood. He was very, very well done in that film. Um, but never once I never considered him as I never really thought of him as a bachelor. I really didn't. Maybe because I just think that he wasn't the guy who wasn't one of those actors that actually settled down. It says here that Johnny Depp is pretty much tying a knot. Um, the article says here that pretty much started out with a joke was done by Jeremy Blackhorn. He says Jack Sparrow might not be walking the plank, but it looks like Johnny Depp could be walking down the aisle sometime soon. After days of speculation, Yahoo has learned that Depp 50, wow, he's actually 50 years old, is engaged to girlfriend Amber Heard, who's 27. The two made it their public debut as a couple on the Golden Globes Eve last Saturday at the Art of Asylum Gallery, I believe. Then Monday, paparazzi caught the actress leaving the restaurant, spotting a glamorous piece of bling on her ring. Though both Depp and her have remained numb on the subject, sources close to the couple have confirmed that they are indeed getting engaged. The word No word on Depp's proposed, but a stunning couple started dating in 2012 after meeting in a set of The Rim Diary. They went public in June of that year. Depp announced his separation from his longtime love, Vanessa Person. Depp and Person had 2 kids together. That's okay. So he was involved with someone, but I never heard of anything about being married. And he wasn't married because it says that although they were never married, the lovers and co-workers are set to reunite on the big screen together later this year in London Field, which also co-stars James Billy Bob Thornton and Jamie Alexandra and Jim Sturges. So I was right; he wasn't married, but he does have 2 children. And again, I never really bothered to think about that. I really, honestly didn't because when I see Johnny Depp, I never see him as one of those guys that actually would settle down. But it's hard to believe that he's 50. And really, it really does. It's hard to believe that. But uh, that's what happens when you play so many roles that requires a lot of makeup and requires to play roles that he himself has said that scares him, which is kind of odd. But makes me wonder if he ever sees his films, which I seriously doubt he does. Hey, congratulations if that's the case. There is a link on the picture. He looks kind of odd without his makeup. I will tell you right now, that glasses and the hat he has. There's a picture of him with his fiance. I'll leave a link to the article. You'll see for yourself. I'm not used to him with blonde hair. That's probably one of the things that's throwing me off. But again, hey, if he's happy, I'm happy for him. So there is some bit of good news in Johnny Depp because, to be honest with you guys, hasn't been a very good few years with him in terms of movies. Dark Shadows and then that god awful Lone Ranger was one of them. But in any case, despite those two films, overall he has a very strong career. I mean, his resume is strong. He's still a demanding man in Hollywood, so there's no question that despite the small things, he's always going to bounce back. And who knows, we'll have that once again that one film that walls audiences all around the world. But for now, I give my congratulations to him, and I hope when he does Pirates 5, which they have yet to announce yet, but they are going to make it. That is a totally different story that is worth people going to the theater with. So that's pretty much it, guys. Those are the remaining three stories of part two of the Entertainment Roundup. As always, I would like to hear your opinions on the matter. I'll leave a link below to all the articles here. And as always, give your comments and feedback whenever you think it's appropriate. And until then, this is J77 saying take care, be safe. I will talk to you guys soon.